This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Well, it was 1 year ago that the Ellisville City Council became front page news when they impeached our next guest. Then he was, then the court put him back in, and then you ultimately won, right? You ended up winning. You ended up going back. You're currently still the mayor of Ellisville, right?
Yes, and the city won more ways than one. So it's an honor to be back. Celebrating the year anniversary of all the mess that took place in Ellisville.
But the court initially put you back in charge.
Oh, no doubt, and it all revolved.
And then ultimately the voters then put you back in charge.
Right. Oh yeah. No doubt about it. And it all stemmed from a Walmart TIF that I opposed. And anytime you have a young man that stands in front of a $50 million project where a third of it's being financed by taxpayer dollars, things like this happen. It's typical politics, but. You know, the good guys won on the matter, and the residents definitely won, and we're just focusing forward.
That's Adam Paul, mayor of Ellisville. Also here is Chet Pleben, your attorney. Any chance for Chet to get on the radio and TV, he takes that opportunity. Well, good morning, Chet Pleben.
Good morning. And first of all, I do want to thank you for working us in between your discussions of The Bachelorette.
Well,
yeah, we're doing
I certainly appreciate that, which tells me, I need to know about your social life. But beyond that,
we can take a moment between real topics and throw in a little Ellisville conversation.
Yes, indeed. And secondly, where is the cake? Didn't I ask for cake? I got it. Thanks to Frank Ladd, I got a cup of coffee at least.
Promise next time.
Adam, did you get any coffee?
I did not.
Any cake? I didn't see any.
All right. So in the 1 year since you've been back, things have settled down in Ellisville.
Yes, we've essentially cleaned house from a leadership standpoint. We've removed the red light cameras that were unconstitutional in our city. We've increased transparency. Fought corruption, and now we have multiple $1 million redevelopment projects coming into the city of Ellisville without the use of TIF. One being the biggest is a Lucky's Market, which is taking place at the old former Straub's, which was closed down since 2009. They're opening up a 45,000 square foot facility in the Lifetime Fitness area, and we've got Kmart, which closed down 120 stores nationwide because of their financial struggles. We've since locked up 3 tenants with a complete facade update. Best Buy that closed 50 stores nationwide has been purchased for redevelopment. I mean, all these things are coming in without the use of taxpayer dollars, and so it's been a busy year. And I think the folks put up a big fight. They've got a ton of support in the region, and it's truly a Cinderella story ending.
What's the latest with that Walmart site? Because there were some rumblings throughout the last 12 months that wasn't necessarily dead yet. Is it dead? And what's going on with that proposed Walmart site?
The Walmart's very much dead. And a lot of people thought that the Walmart was going on these huge vacant dealership lots in the corner of Clarkson and Manchester. They were going west where 23 apartment buildings and 250 of our residents were located. So, our residents were being held with the threat of eminent domain to put up a Walmart for retail sales tax dollars. And I can tell you right now, we've got Ace Hardware, we've got, like I said, the Lucky's Market, we have Sports Authority. I mean, all these businesses are coming in that they said that couldn't be done without TIF or without an anchor store, Walmart, which I personally know the Lucky's Market would not even be opening in our city because of the competition and the of the too many grocery stores.
What about that Quick Trip? There's a Quick Trip that's going to be there, no? Or
sure.
That was rumored.
They've come before the council. There's a vacant Nissan right at the end of the corner of Clarkson and Manchester, and it's been there for about 2.5 years. And Quick Trip wants to sell their current location down the road for a restaurant and open up what's called a Generation 3 style building. It's not just your typical gas station, because a lot of people hear that and they instantly will oppose it. But once they find out of the architectural design and the style of the building, it's truly a great spot to spawn economic development for the rest of those vacant areas across the street.
And why do you think there's so much going on in Ellisville right now? So many people are building and new businesses coming there.
Well, new leadership. New leadership helps. Again, that was a decision that the council had made, and with new leadership comes new life. And Ellisville is a great community, and so's all of West County, and it's just the perfect location with the amount of traffic and the annual income that the folks have that live in the area for it to just be sitting vacant. And it's also it's ridiculous to even use the thought of tax increment financing or TIF to develop on such a pad-ready primo piece of real estate property. So all the cards came together, and all a city can do is create a soft landing pad for businesses to want to locate here.
Chet Pleben, in the year you've watched this, what are your thoughts as you watch this story?
Well, from the start, I mean, it truly is a Cinderella story. I mean, because you go back more than a year. What they tried to do is oust him because of his political philosophy. He ran on an anti-TIF, not necessarily anti-Walmart, but anti-TIF platform, and that alienated a lot of people. And so they set about the task, you'll recall, of getting rid of him. That
alienated only a few people.
Well,
it actually propelled him into office.
It did. Of course, the voters put him in, but the certain people on the council and certain officers within the city of Ellisville had different ideas about whether or not he should take office and whether he should continue to be in office.
Right.
And so, this guy, when he came in to our office, he said, well, they're trying to get rid of me, kind of, what do I do? And so, to his credit, he stood and he fought. Not only did he fight, the political opposition out there, not the voters, but the politicians.
Right.
But he fought and defeated a $1 billion corporation. Now, how often does that happen? And I got to tell you, you can turn off the tape recorder right now because I'm never going to repeat this.
Yes.
But I got to give credit to you. I mean, you got into this story from the very beginning. You gave us the opportunity to tell it to the folks out there, and you gave an opportunity to our opponents to tell their side of it as well.
Right.
And so you were balanced. Of course, I think that having them tell their side gave him more credibility. Adam more credibility. So we thank you for that.
I just give you airtime. I don't tell you what to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But and so that's all part of it. But here he is today.
I want to get to what's going on now, but I think it's important to at least ask the mayor of Ellisville this question. If the Walmart, and you sort of alluded to it, if the Walmart would have gone in, it sells tires, it sells TVs, it sells, VCRs, it sells soap and towels, everything. So all of these other stores, it would have sucked out all of the energy and all of the commerce of these other stores. So you would have had a Walmart, you would have torn down an apartment complex, you would have built a Walmart, you would have given them tax subsidies, and it would have sucked the region or that area dry of any other development. Does that make any sense?
Well, yes, and not only that, you're paying them to come into your municipality, and then the underlying issue is all the coffers suffer because with tax increment financing, 50% of the proceeds of revenues go to the developer, and subsequently the tenant being Walmart. So then all these budgets start having shortfalls with your school districts, your blind, your Metra, and next thing you know that there's a bond measure on the ballot because they're having shortfalls. So it's a catch-22. And the Ellisville residents truly started the anti-TIF movement, and now it's really even a better story because what was said before, nothing can be built without the Walmart, and we need all this tax dollars to build it. Now all these businesses are coming regardless, and not even asking for it.
And that Clarkson and Manchester has got to be one of the busiest intersections in the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Sure.
Right. And if something can't survive on that corner by itself, we're in a lot of trouble.
And so what when you look at this retrospectively, what's the takeaway? Well, two lessons, I think. One is you get a kid that throws his hat in the ring, right? He's got no political experience, and so he sees something that for him isn't right. So he says, okay, I'm going to run for political office. I got no experience doing this, but I'm going to run for political office. So he gets in, and he survives. He beats not only a $1 billion corporation, but he beats those political opponents that are trying to put him down from day one. And secondly, the second lesson to be learned, I think, is that cities can survive without $1 billion corporations coming in looking for a tax handout.
Yeah.
And that's significant.
Okay, now you're running for county council.
Yes, I'm running for St. Louis County Council, District 7. My current term of mayor ends early in 2015, and this, if I were to be elected on August 5th, I'm running as a Republican. I would take office early 2015. The reason I'm running is because there's several issues. Obviously, I've already fought corruption. I've cleaned house. I've fought tax incentives. I've saved 250 residents from eminent domain. But the biggest reason why, after I've got called by several GOP Republican committee folks urging me to run because they need a heavy hitter in the ring regarding the city-county merger proposal that's coming in 2015. The district, I don't care what anyone feels about it. I've always represented the people. But District 7, Chesterfield, Wildwood, Baldwin, Ellisville, Eureka, these folks vehemently oppose it for a multitude of reasons. And so that's why I like the big fight. I like to, right now, our district needs somebody that can step into the ring with the big boys. And that's gonna go round for round and pound for pound war.
We can talk more about the city counter reunification merger depending on what you want to talk about. But your opponent, we're getting some phone calls here from some Chesterfield residents who are not happy with your opponent. What did he do in Chesterfield that upset so many people?
Well, yeah, I've heard from hundreds of Chesterfield folks when I go door to door and I pound the pavement essentially, and essentially they're furious because my opponent had a official political fundraiser at a City of Chesterfield owned facility, which is a huge no-no. And he's also got these huge 32-foot billboard signs littering all over Chesterfield. And
are they on public property?
Yeah, I mean I think they're on private property.
Okay.
Signs don't vote. Anyone that votes for a big sign is.
Well, you are a novice.
Yeah, it's
They don't.
At the end of the day, you've got three candidates I'm running against. One gentleman's a fine gentleman, but the other one, it's just he's been attacking me, and I'm used to it. I've been sitting in the hot seat for a couple years now. But you've got to look out for the best interests of the folks. I have no secret political agenda. I'm not tied to the hip with any Jeff City blood money or politicians there trying to use endorsements as political favors. I turn all that stuff down. I run solely for the people, and again, it's an issue that you need somebody with the city-county merger.
Is the one candidate who used the public park to raise money the same candidate that was faking endorsements?
Yes. I
love this story.
There's a couple endorsements that were posted on the gentleman's website that have since been removed. One's a state representative, and one is a highly known president CEO of a business here in St. Louis. So. I don't go negative, and I try to stay above the fray, but people have to understand, who they're climbing in the bed with when they go to vote for these primaries. And like I said, I've always just done the right thing, and I try to focus on my game, and that's what I try to do.
All right. So Adam Paul, now it also should know that your term as mayor will be up. So you're not leaving. Your term's up. It's over with, and now you're running for county council.
Yeah, I'm in my final stages of my term, and I hope I carry the day and on August 5th, and if I don't, I'd run for one final term as mayor, and then I think my political career probably ends there.
Well, it doesn't help that you're hanging out with Chet Cleveland. That's going to ruin it. Adam Paul, Mayor Adam Paul of Ellisville wants to be your county council member, District 7. August 5th is the date. Adam Paul, Mayor of Ellisville. Adam Paul, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
You got it. 851, Big 550, KTRS.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan